Welcome back, friends. Kathleen Hart here, the Little Piece of Hart blog. I'm so glad you guys are joining me today because I am making one of my favorite all-time dinners. It's a Greek-style chicken. Now, how do I get it to be Greek? I use a lot of simple Greek flavors, already stuff that you're going to have in your pantry. Let me show you what I'm going to do to make this Greek-style chicken. We have chicken breast here. Now I have 3. These are about medium size. If you have 2 large ones, which you can find in the store now, 2 will be plenty. I then have some salt, some cracked black pepper, some oregano, and then I have some chopped garlic. We've got a lemon here, and we've got some extra virgin olive oil. Now this is just the first part of this Greek style chicken. This is going to be the marinade that we're going to mix with the chicken breast to create these great flavors. So we're going to start off with that, and then we're actually going to build this whole meal into a large platter. Now let me break it down for you real quick. The platter is going to be some sauteed kale, then we have our marinated chicken on top, and then we're going to top it with a Greek style salad with great ingredients like cherry tomatoes, some feta cheese, some more oregano. But first we have to do the marinade for the chicken because this has to be in the fridge for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours. Let's get started. We have about 1/3 of a cup of the extra virgin olive oil here, and to that I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon of garlic. Now this is about 3 or 4 small to medium cloves. So we're going to add that right in there. Oh, perfect. Then we are going to take our oregano. Now this is really common in Greek food. It's such a great spice. I love oregano. I love it fresh, I love it dried. It actually reminds me of making pizza when I was little. This is exactly the greatest spice you can have. We're going to do about 1 tablespoon of this. We really want to infuse this olive oil with some great Greek flavors. Now I'm not Greek at all, but I do really enjoy Greek flavors, which is why I'm sharing this recipe with you guys today. To this, we're going to use some great salt and pepper. Now this is kind of where you can, do as much salt and pepper as you like. I like to go heavier on the pepper and not too much on the salt, only because this dish we're going to salt it all the way along. And then you can of course salt it at the end, so you don't have to go too crazy in the marinade. Now for the lemon, this is what I like to do. You can easily just zest this lemon because we do need the zest and we do need the juice on the inside. But what I like to do is take a vegetable peeler just like this and run it right along the lemon, and as you see, you get these glorious big strips of lemon rind. And I just feel like it flavors this oil just a little bit more than those little bitty pieces of zest, and I just want big chunks in there. So we're just going to go right around the lemon, and we're going to get all of the zest in there. My lemon's kind of small, but it doesn't really matter what size your lemon is. Use all the zest and all of the juice. Oh, gorgeous. I love the smell of lemon. It's so fresh. Okay, so now what we are going to do is cut this right in half, and we are going to juice this, catching the seeds as we go. It's really easy to squeeze once you take the rind off, so you really be able to get all the juice out. Oh, see, we lost a seed. That's fine. I'm going to fish it out. There we go. Okay, oh, see, I didn't even get it. There we go. Other side. Juice goes right in. Juicy lemon. Perfect. So now what we want to do is whisk all of this together, and I'm just going to use a fork, and I like mixing inside of a mixing bowl like this. Just one less thing, and then you can kind of judge how much olive oil and everything that you need. Perfect. Look how quickly that comes together. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Nice and fresh flavors. So now what I like to do is put this in the refrigerator, but I like to use a plastic resealable bag. I feel like that really helps, and I like to also put it into a bowl like this. And I take the bag and I fold it down. This is a 1-gallon freezer bag, and I just like to put it in the bowl just in case. You never know. The bag could break open and then you're going to have marinade all over your fridge, and who wants to clean that up? No one wants to clean that up. Do this. So I like to put the chicken in first. Just going to put all 3 pieces in there. And this meal will feed 2 people, possibly one more serving, depending on how hungry you are. And a lot of times I like to have the extra serving and take it for lunch the next day because this is actually great cold too, this dinner. Mix our marinade one more time, and then we're going to pour it right in there. Get all of those garlic bits, all of that oregano off the bottom of there. Great. Oh, still got some in there. I'm not one of those people that puts empty or containers that still have stuff in it into the sink. I like to get everything out. So we're going to take our bag, fold the sides up, just like this. And then we are going to take it out because I want to mix it a little bit before I put it back in the bowl to go in the fridge. So I want to get all the air out. And then I want to close it. Then you're going to take it and, mix it around with your hands a little bit. You want to get everything coated with that oil and the lemon and the seasonings. Great. There we go. I'm going to put it back in the bowl. And then this is going to go in my fridge, like I said, for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours. I just want all the flavors to get together. I think 4 to 5 hours is probably the optimum time. So I'll meet you back here once it's had time to marinate, and I will show you how to put this dinner together. While the chicken is marinating in the fridge, I'm going to assemble my Greek salad that's going to go on top of this great Greek platter that we're making right now. Let me show you what ingredients we're going to be using. We have some Kalamata olives. I cut them right in half, just each half in there. We also have some chopped red onion. We have a lemon, which we're going to use the zest and the juice of half of it. We have some finely chopped cucumber, and we have some cherry tomatoes. Now for spices, we're going to be using some garlic powder, some oregano, and some salt and pepper. And lastly, I have a little bitty, cup here with some red wine vinegar and some olive oil. So let's get started in assembling this topping. We have the cherry tomatoes. I have 1 cup of halved cherry tomatoes here. And then I also have half a cup of the Kalamata olives that I just showed you guys. Then we're going to add in our cucumber. This is a 1/4 cup, and like you can see, I chopped the cucumber up pretty small, and I didn't use the seeds, so I'm just using the outside. If you have seedless cucumber available, go ahead and use that. I happened to pick up one with seeds. I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't use the seeds. I actually snacked on it with a little bit of ranch dressing, but that's okay. We don't waste around here. Last, we have, for the veggies I should say, we have our chopped red onion. I chopped it pretty small because this is going to be, we don't want it to be too strong. We don't want big chunks of onion. This is about 3 tablespoons right here. That goes in. Next, we want to do our lemon. We are going to zest half of this, and then we're going to cut it in half and juice the half that we zested. And we just want to get the bright yellow on the outside. We want to get that into this salad. All of these flavors are so wonderful. And you know what? It's going to pair really well with the marinated chicken. And it's going to bring a pop of freshness right to the top of this platter. And you know what else is great too? We're using all fresh ingredients. I mean, yeah, the olives were jarred, but everything else is nice and fresh. And it's just, it's the perfect thing to make for a weeknight dinner, or if you want to impress some people, you can also do it, for a weekend. It's that fancy, and it kind of, the way that I'm going to present it, it's gorgeous. The colors are just beautiful. So now that we have everything in here, we are going to add in our lemon juice. So we're just going to do half of the lemon, like I said, and that goes right in, nice and juicy. All right. Here's a tip. If you have a garbage disposal, put your limes and lemons down the garbage disposal. It sharpens the blades and it keeps it smelling nice. So, nice little tip for you guys. To this, we are going to add some of our spices now. I'm going to do some salt and pepper, not a lot. I'm just going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can always salt more later. Remember that. You cannot take away salt, but you can add more later. Same amount of pepper. Then we're going to do a little bit of garlic powder as well. And you know what? I added this at the last minute last time, and I feel like it just made a little bit of a difference. It just gave it that little bit of extra garlic kick that we need. We don't want it to be overpowering. We're just going to do the same thing, a 1/4 teaspoon. Lastly, for the spices, we got our oregano. We use this in our marinade. We're going to use it in here. This is a great, great spice, and it really brings out, even more freshness. Even though it's a dried spice, it just, brightens everything up. So we're actually going to put in a whole teaspoon of that right on top. How great does this look? Thank heaven for clear bowls, right? Look at how gorgeous that looks. You can see all the different colors. It's already coming together and looking beautiful. All right, now to this, I have a little bit of red wine vinegar and I also have a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just a touch. We don't want to overdress anything. So we're just pouring that right on top. Great. Now I'm going to take my fork and I'm just going to get this going. Look at that. You want to get the lemon zest and the oregano. You want to get everything coated with that oil and the vinegar and the lemon juice. Oh, it already smells fresh and fragrant. This is a great salad just on its own. And you want to prepare this when the chicken has been in the fridge for a while because we want this to actually sit for about an hour. So I like to make this salad in the last hour of the chicken being done marinating, and that's when the flavors can all just kind of sit and marry together in the fridge. Now the one other thing I need to add to this, I'm not going to add it right now, I'm going to add it in once I take it out of the fridge right before I'm ready to serve it, is some crumbled feta cheese. Now the cool thing about feta cheese now is if your supermarket has a cheese section with like all different artisan cheeses, I could spend like a good hour in that section. I love cheese and cheese is low carb, so it's perfect. This is a Mediterranean style feta cheese. There is some sun-dried tomatoes in here. We got some more oregano, which is what we already have in here. This is great because it already has its own flavor. If you can't find this, it's fine. Just use regular feta, any kind that you prefer. But feta cheese is where it's at with this dish because we know we're going for Greek flavors here. So feta cheese is where it's at. I'm not going to add it right now, like I said, but once I'm ready to serve this, at the last minute, I'm going to fold in 1/3 of a cup of this feta cheese. But you'll see that when we're all ready to plate everything. So I'm going to pop this into the fridge right now. I'm going to wait about another hour for my chicken to be done. Once my chicken's done, I will meet you right back here or over there at the stove, and we're going to cook our chicken. So don't miss it. Chicken is done marinating. We are ready to cook it. Now, at this point, you can cook the chicken any way that you prefer. You can bake it, you can grill it, you can do it on a grill pan, you can do it in a saute pan. It's completely up to you. We just need to get these babies cooked. What I did is I preheated my grill pan here. It is on high heat right now. I sprayed it with some cooking spray, and I think we're gonna get a pretty nice sizzle out of this. Here's my chicken. We are ready to go. I'm gonna go in here with my tongs. Try to not make a huge mess. We don't want the lemon rind. You can leave that in there. Look at that. Gorgeous. All right. Ah, sizzle. We got it. Mission accomplished. All right. Got 2 more to go. That was a good one. All right. And we have our last chicken piece here. And I'm going to flip this one around. Gorgeous. We have our chicken in the grill pan. Now it's going to take a couple minutes per side, give or take 5 minutes, but we want to get our chicken cooked. However you're cooking it, get it cooked, get it onto a plate, and tent it with some tin foil. Because after the chicken cooks, I'm going to whip up in just a few minutes our kale base for this platter. It's going to be some kale with some spices. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to do that next, but I got to get this chicken cooked first. So meet me right back at the stove to do our kale. We're so close. We're so close to having this dinner. It's going to be so good. The base for our dinner is the last thing that we have to do. My chicken is beautiful looking. I took it off. I put it under a plate with a little bit of tin foil on top just to make a tent. Now we're going to do our kale. Quick and easy sauteed kale to go just on the bottom of the platter. I have some olive oil heating up in here over a pan over medium-high heat. I want to make sure we get that nice and hot, so I'm going to let that go for 1 more minute. We have 4 cups of roughly chopped kale. I didn't even chop it actually, I lied. I just pulled it apart with my fingers. And I took out the fibrous stems. Missed one here. Anything like this is just gonna be tough. It's gonna be too fibrous. I don't like it, I take it out. We got a couple spices we're using today. Got some garlic powder, and optional is some red pepper flakes. Now this just gives it that little bit of heat that you're kind of looking for in this dish. It's gonna be really good. And then of course salt and pepper. So I think our oil is ready. We're just going to put our kale right in. I have a large pan because we got a lot of kale. Got that sizzle. Great. Okay. So I'm going to put it all in. just like this. And then before I even mix it, and if you lose a couple, that's all right. Before I even mix it, I'm going to put a little bit of my garlic powder right on top. There we go. Sprinkling of salt. You can always salt this more later, but remember we're going to have a couple different layers, so I don't like to salt anything too much. But everything does need seasoning. So for our base, we're going to do salt and pepper seasoning. And for the red pepper flake, I just like to use my fingers and just do a little pinch and kind of sprinkle them right over the top. You can leave that out. You can put in more red pepper flake. You can do whatever you please because this is up to you. We don't want this to wilt all the way down so that it's nothing. We just want to cook everything and turn it that bright green color. That's why we have the heat up high. That's why we already seasoned it. So right now we are just mixing it to get the seasonings all moved around, to warm up the kale, and to get it nice and bright green. We don't want anything to be too raw. And you know what? This is almost done. So what did that take? 2 minutes? This is real time. This is literally not even a minute, 2 minutes maybe. All right, perfect. This is exactly what we want for our kale base. So meet me back over at my center island. We are going to assemble this gorgeous Greek salad platter. I can't wait. We are ready to assemble our Greek platter. This is my favorite part because eating is very shortly after this. First off, we're going to start with our base, which is our sauteed kale that we just made. As you can see here, it's not very wilted. It's still got its texture, which is beautiful. Some pieces are even a little bit crispy. This is great. It's a great base because kale really holds up, so it's not going to wilt underneath all of the other ingredients either. We're going to get all of this kale onto this platter. I'm just using a big white platter so we can serve it family style, which is one of my favorite ways to serve anything because I feel like it's great when you can take a big spatula or spoon and scoop out a big helping and get a little bit of everything all in one bite. So we have our base ready. Now, remember I made the topping and we needed to add the cheese. Well, I'm going to do that for you guys right now because it's very complicated. You have to take the cheese and you dump it in to the salad. Did you follow that? Really complicated. So we're going to give that one last toss, and now that cheese is going to latch onto all of that dressing, the tomatoes. Oh, this is gorgeous. Now I'm doing it at the last minute because I want the cheese to hold those big crumbles that we have here. If it sits in the oil and everything too long and then you mix it a couple times, it's all going to fall apart and then it kind of gets messy. So that's perfect the way it is. We'll come back to this in one more second. But the next step to this is our chicken. As you can see, our chicken looks glorious. I did it on the grill pan and it came out beautifully. So now what I'm going to do is just cut this into big pieces, and then I'll show you, we're going to put it right on top of this kale, and we're going to have our second layer of our platter all finished. Here's our last piece of chicken. It's a little messy, but that's what your hands are for. They're for cooking. All right. Got one more piece that I just lost. Grab that. All right. Perfect. So it already looks pretty amazing, I think. But we have our topping that we still need. So let's get going. That off to the side. Here we go. Now I'm going to actually spoon it right off to the side of the chicken. Right in between the chicken layers. And I feel like this is the perfect amount of this salad to top onto the chicken, and it just, you know, it really brightens everything up. And I really enjoy the contrast of a cold salad to a warm chicken and a warm kale. I don't know, it's just something about it. I just feel like it's the perfect marriage of all of these flavors. I want every last bit of the bottom of there. We lost a tomato. Pop it right there. Look how beautiful. To finish this off, I'm gonna add another little pop of color, some lemon wedges. Because don't forget, we had lemon in the marinade, we have lemon in the dressing, so why not a little squeeze of fresh lemon right on top. This is my favorite part. It is time to taste this. I have been dreaming about this dinner since I started marinating that chicken a couple hours ago. So I'm gonna dig in. I wanna get a little bit of everything on my spoon here. Look at that, kale, olives, tomato, cucumber. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going in. Complete dinner right here. Wow. Everything. I could name everything in here, but I'm tasting it all right now. Even the lemon, just that lemon in the marinade. You know what? I think the lemon squeeze on top is gonna really make this pop. But the olives with the feta, everything in here is fresh. I bought it yesterday. It's fresh, healthy food, and we're putting it together and making this glorious meal with some Greek flavors that you all know and love. If you guys like this recipe, if you like how I cooked it, if you think it's going to be great, if you've tried it, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then I can make more and more videos for you guys. If you have any suggestions on what you want me to cook for you, low carb, let me know. This is a perfect low carb dinner, and I'm going to be making more and more for you guys. So please join me, come back, and check my blog for the exact measurements on how to make everything. I write it all out. I give great detailed instructions. You'll find it there. But I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching Little Piece of Heart.